Hello, Christine Abrams here at Christine's Craft Table. I'd like to share 3 things with you today. The first off is my new favorite sock pattern. This is a pattern called Socks for Chubby Feet, and it is by Olga Poltava. She has a 2-part video tutorial on YouTube, and it's a great pattern. Olga's videos are really clear and easy to follow, and this is actually the second of her sock patterns that I've made. One difference that I love about this pattern is sometimes you get a space where the heel ends and the ankle starts, and her pattern does not have anything. It's nice and tight there. No hole. So they are also adjustable. She was making hers, well, it's adjustable by changing the number of rows before you get to the ankle or the heel section. So she was making hers for her dad, so she made them, I think, 7 inches from here to the toe. And I just dropped mine to 6.5 inches, and that was perfect. I wear a 8.5 US, so. And also the cuff, she made it 2 inches, and I kept mine to 1.5 inches. And I probably will make my next one 2 inches because I could use a little bit more cuff there. Let's see. Yeah, so another thing I love is her cuff is nice and flexible. She makes it really comfortable size. So even by the end of the day, if you're wearing those all day, they're not going to be strangling your ankles at the end of the day. Some of you know what I'm talking about. The pattern is all single crochet and some slip stitches, and then just a front post, back post on the cuff. Very easy. The hook I used was a 3.25 millimeter, just an aluminum generic hook. This yarn actually called for a 3.5 millimeter, but the 3.25 worked fine, and I think that's what Olga used in her pattern, so that's what I used. The yarn I used was this Premier wool-free sock in the color grapes. It's like a medley of different shades of purple and gray. Very pretty. Works up really nice. These have been worn and washed once already, and they still look like new. So it's a good yarn. It's this one is 93% acrylic and 7% PBT. PBT is a synthetic fiber, kind of in the family of the polyesters, to give it some stretch and strength. And I used 329 yards for both socks total. So it's machine washable and can be tumble dried. And oh, again, I think I just mentioned this, but the yarn is very stretchy, so you want to watch your tension. Keep it loose and make sure you're consistent between both socks, so one sock doesn't end up a little tighter than the other one, which actually happened to me on this pair. So I'll watch that more carefully on my next pair if I use stretchy yarn. It wasn't remarkably so that, you know, the sock is uncomfortable, but I did notice it's a tiny bit smaller. My recommendation on a scale of 1 to 10, both the pattern and the yarn, would be a 10. I love these socks. Okay, the second thing I want to share with you is my favorite house slipper. This pattern is called Crochet House Slippers. Again, there's a video on YouTube by Stephanie Z. They're a nice, chunky, squishy slipper that works up really fast. I did these in 2 days, and I don't crochet all day. Another thing I love about this pattern is these slippers do not fall off. That is one of my pet peeves with crochet slippers, is that they tend to fall off and get stretchy and the heel starts dropping. And these don't go anywhere because they're all the way up to your ankle. And if you think they're going to be too warm, they are really not. The stitch pattern is very breathable. I guess it depends what yarn you use, but I find them totally comfortable. I can wear them all night. In fact, they don't fall off and I'm comfortable the whole night. I actually wear them as sleep socks. So, yeah. The yarn that I used for these was the Mandala watercolors in the color Tea Berry. This is one of my Make 9 yarns. If you saw my Make 9 video, I showed you this yarn. It's actually just 9 yarns that I chose out of my stash that have been there a while that I want to use up this year. So this is one of them. And it's a 5-weight bulky yarn. Lost my place. It's a single ply roving. So you can see it's got a little bit of fuzziness to it. And one thing I noticed, when I started making the slippers, I was using my favorite prim hook. And this hook tends to get caught up on a roving yarn. So word of caution. I ended up going to just a generic aluminum 6mm hook and didn't catch the fibers once with this hook. So if you look at the two of them, you can see that the prim hook is, that neck part is a lot, I don't know, deeper than the other one, and the head is sharper, and this one is nice and round. And maybe it's the aluminum, but this yarn slides so nicely on the aluminum hook. So couldn't use my favorite hook, prim, for these slippers. Oh, another thing about this yarn is it's machine wash gentle and lay flat to dry. So I had thought I was going to make a blanket with it, but who wants to lay a blanket flat to dry? So I'm having to think of little projects for 1,400 yards of this yarn. So I will probably make another pair of slippers, and I just started on a scarf, and we'll have to find a few other things for this yarn. This pattern, again, is super popular. If you look it up on the internet, you'll see that the original video has over 1 million views, and she actually redid it and gave you instructions on how to make the slipper wider or narrower just by changing the number of these top rows. And she also gave instructions for using a medium weight yarn instead of a bulky weight yarn. So great pattern, highly recommend it. And the slippers. So I guess 1 to 10 for these. The pattern, 10, definitely. And but the yarn, I'd probably give a 7. And the reason for that, again, it's a beautiful color and soft, very soft. But again, it's that dry flat, so you can't put it in the dryer. And the color changes are kind of abrupt. So, but they're also not very long. So I think it would be hard to color control on this. I didn't even try. Well, I'm not making anything big, but for that reason, because I tend to not like it when a yarn changes colors like right in the middle of a row. Bothers me. So anyway, I won't be making any blankets or any large items with this yarn. hence the 7 out of 10. What was the other thing? Oh, but it does get caught on certain hooks, so you have to be careful of that. Because if you go to frog stitches, I ended up having to take out my scissors and snip those little strands that had gotten caught and gone in the wrong direction. So, word to the wise. The last thing I want to show you is a prize I won from Dana at Dana's Wanderlust Crochet. She had a live recently, well, about a week ago, with Kari at AKA Jet 1N. I'll leave links to all of this in the description box. But I recommend that video. It was a really nice interview with Kari. She is a yarn spinner. I don't know if there's a better technical term for that, but she actually had her spinning wheel and she was spinning during the live, and she was answering questions from everyone in the chat. And it was a really nice interview. So during that session, Dana gave away a prize and I won. And it was 5 skeins of Paint Box Simply Aran 100% acrylic. And it was a set of these beautiful colors, pinks and white. And it is very soft and squishy. The colors are vibrant. I am excited about using this yarn and really thankful to have won it. And the strands look like they are woven very tightly, so it doesn't look like it'll be at all splitty. It is machine washable and dryable, I believe. Yeah, machine wash and dry. And 100% acrylic. So I'm really excited to use this yarn. I actually already have a pattern in mind. It is, I see a bed jacket. When I saw it, I just thought pink, maybe somebody who's convalescing in the hospital or somebody who's wheelchair bound, and you know, sometimes your shoulders just get chilled. I thought how pretty to have a little capelet made out of these colors. So I have a pattern already. It's a Bag O' Day pattern, her capelet, and I made it before in a chunky yarn, and it came out really cute. Somebody actually bought it from me on Etsy, and so I'm going to make that, and I will probably be starting that soon, and I will definitely show you in a video what it looks like when it's done. And I don't have a recipient yet, but that image just came in my head, and so that's what I'm going to make. That's it for now. Thank you again, Dana, for this wonderful gift or prize. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell so you can catch the next video. Well, it won't be the next video, but the video where I show you my capelet and any others that I post. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.